And welcome to Heal the World Show, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute, and we are a virtual global hub of holistic practitioners, and we are out to heal the world. So we are interviewing every Friday morning on Heal the World Show. Well, Friday morning for me, because I'm on the west coast of Canada. We are interviewing a holistic practitioner, someone that we know you would be interested in and knowing how their clients are helped by them. So I have been studying and been part of holistic health now for myself personally for over 20 years. We definitely want to bring people hope. We want people to know there is a way to be well and stay well on their health journey. And that's what the Healing Institute is all about. So, why is this so important to me? Well, I tell this story every week for those of you who haven't heard it, because it was a tragedy that happened in our family a number of years ago. And I don't want that to happen to anybody else. So, my mother passed away at the age of 61. She was ill for a very short time. Leading up to that, she hadn't been feeling well, but we didn't know what it was about. And when she had the diagnosis, it was due to kidney failure. Now, she had been on a medication for over 20 years, and not once did her doctor ever tell her that a side effect could be kidney issues. So I'm so blessed to be able to talk to people and tell people and have practitioners available that we know there is a way that you can be in your best health that you can possibly be, as we are all on this health journey together. And I don't want that happening for anyone else. That's the reason actually I called the Healing Institute an institute, because I'm very passionate about education and educating people about all the different ways that they can be well from a holistic point of view. So I am so very excited today to introduce our guest, Dr. Laurel Mines. And Dr. Laurel is a mental coach for athletes for the most part, but we are going to be talking about mental health today. And January, we've decided the theme is it's a new year, it's a new you. And so each week we're talking about some part of our health. Last week was physical, this week it's mental. So welcome, Dr. Laurel. So happy to have you here today.
Thanks for thanks, Parmelia. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here and be in this conversation today.
So we have a few people that have popped in. And so Dr. Medlena is here all the way from Germany, and she's a Living Your Best Life guide. So she says she's very excited to be here. So we're happy to have you here, Dr. Medlena, who is a great support of our Healing Institute. And so give us an idea. Ooh, we lost you. Not quite sure what happened. I think she needs to pop back on.
I think I'm having trouble with the sound.
We can hear you, we just can't see you. It's like your picture popped off again. Oh, you can't hear me. All right. Let me see what happened here. Our audio. No, our audio is on. All right, I think she's going to come back in. Sometimes that needs to happen. There we go. I think, I don't know. Yes, I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now? Still can't hear me. I can hear you, and I've checked our settings.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not sure if I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm not able to hear the sound.
so we can hear you. Okay, I'm just going to say that.
I'm not sure if I'm the only one.
We, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Laurel Mines. I'm a physical therapist and a mental performance coach. And I've been practicing physical therapy for about 12 years now. But what really got me into coaching is after grad school, I did an internship where I did a lot of pain science studying, read all the books, the research, did some research of my own. And I realized that pain was, more of an emotional and mental experience than a physical experience. And not to diminish the physical experience of pain, but when I started coaching people around their mental and emotional experience of pain, I realized that their physical pain condition actually got, a lot better, a lot quicker, and getting out of pain cycles that they had been in for years or decades. And so, fast forward 12 years later, I um, quit a job to open my own company to really make a bigger impact, in the world, and wanted to do a little more coaching than just the physical therapy. And then, I was coaching people in pain, but then I took a pivot to coaching younger people because I realized that our young people these days are growing up in a really challenging world. And I realized that helping them could open up a whole new world for them. And so I actually developed a program to coach these young athletes. And it's been just incredible. And so I'll back up to whenever I was a teenager. I played many sports, and my parents were divorced, and my dad would pick me up sometimes from school, and he would sometimes pick me up late from practice. And so, I'm standing there, it's cold, it's dark out, I'm hungry, I'm embarrassed, I'm with the coach, and the coach wants to go home. I want to go home. And this was right before cell phones, so I couldn't just call him up and be like, "Where are you?" So he'd show up 20, 40 minutes later, who knows. And then he would say, "Oh, it wasn't my fault, work this or so and so that." And so I thought, like, "Oh, I'm just not a priority. So what can I do to be a priority so then he doesn't pick me up late and he picks me up on time?" So I decided I just needed to do more and I needed to do better in my life. So I jumped on the hamster wheel of doing more and better, and I started chasing the more monster. And I actually did that for 2 decades of my life. And, I was achieving a lot and accomplishing a lot, but it was not fulfilling. It was not satisfying. It was not joyful. And it was stress, struggle, overwhelm, anxiety, um, the experience of the payday never comes. You never get the satisfaction of the accomplishments. So in my own work, I discovered that I had created this experience that actually carried with me for 2 decades of my life, and I didn't even realize that until I did the work to discover it. So I thought, oh my gosh, like if I could help young people discover when they step on the hamster wheel, get them off the hamster wheel, then they don't have to live decades of their life under these contexts that actually aren't even real, right? That our brains formulate and then live through the filter. And I'll give you an example of one of my earlier clients, one of my first clients I put through the program. She was a 10-year-old gymnast, and she, her parents came to me because she had negative self-talk. So I didn't even know I could coach someone that young. I was kind of coaching more middle school and high school. So I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, okay, I'll try this out. And then I was just thinking, I'll just refund the money if it doesn't work, right? And I'm like, I'll just try my best, see what happens. And so we did this 6-week coaching program. And what we discovered was her blind spot was her dad calls her his little champion. And when she has this experience of my dad calls me a champion, if I don't win the championship, he's not proud of me. So the pressure to win the championship is so great because the consequence is so great, right? So every championship, what's on the line is if her dad's proud of her or not. And
Right.
so, you know, my dad was not showing up, but her dad was showing up. So you just never know, you know, what's going to actually create this blind spot or this glass ceiling that just going to carry around with you and going to be limiting. So when she discovered this, she discovered that if she was showed up and did her best, she was proud of herself, and she was proud, like she could see other people were proud of her. So that completely changed the trajectory of her sports.
Those are great examples, Laurel. I'm so happy that you brought both those examples up, both yourself and the gymnast that you worked with. And I think we can also identify the fact that it can happen for anybody, and even in any age, it can happen where we are where we're giving that negative self-talk. We're not, we're worrying about other people's thoughts about us and who we are. And so, yes, that is all part of mental health, I believe, all part of us being in a mental health, positive mental health mindset. So we seem to be having some challenges with Laurel hearing me. So I'm not quite sure, and we don't have anybody else that I can see that's popped on the chat. So yes. So I think what we'll do today, okay, she's going to try again. I do want people to know that I'll just show these captions here. Laurel has a great gift that she's going to offer, and it's a downloadable kind of a mindset how to be mentally at your best, and then there's also a way for you to contact Laurel. I'm just showing them your gift. Not sure if you can hear. We have a little chat here that we can send each other messages. So I'm just showing everybody your gift that you're going to offer, and also, yes, so we're still having
Yeah, I'm
some
having some technical difficulties over
Mhm.
here. I'm not able to hear the audio.
So I think we'll just, because I wanted Laurel to tell us some more, give us some more. I'll just send her this message. Any more client testimonials? It was all working ahead of time. We checked it all out. Isn't that always the way? We had all of the audio checked out. It was working perfectly fine.
Okay. I can hear the audio now.
Yay. Okay, good. We don't
I
have
am
to.
so sorry that, yeah, there were some technical difficulties where I couldn't hear the audio, but we're in business now. So, yeah.
All right. This is great. I was going to stop. I was going to have our interview a bit short, but now we can carry on. So perfect. And that, it just happens. And
Yeah.
I was saying to people that we had it all checked out when we came on the call, like 15 minutes before the call, before
Yeah.
this podcast and our interview, and everything was working fine. So you never
Mhm.
know, but we just go with
Yeah.
the flow. So
Mhm.
I was just running your gift. Do you want to just speak a little bit about your what you're offering? This teachable. Um,
Yeah, so on this website, if you click on that, you can put your email address in, and then it'll give you this PDF file. And what it shows is how to, it's a secret to athletic success. But it's not just about athletic success. You can actually apply it to other parts in your life. You can kind of look at two different factors. You have your external factors and your internal factors. So, like, externally, like for sports, it's like the equipment, right? Maybe even for a podcast, it's the equipment. Like, do you have the equipment that you need to be successful, right? Then, as far as your internal or your physical performance, there's four ways you can develop yourself. One is physical performance, one is skill, one is strategy, and one is mental performance. So those are four ways you can develop yourself in sports or in any kind of area of your life, right? And you can break down the physical performance into different things: sleep, nutrition, your physical wellness, all of that stuff that you talk a lot on your show. And so, when you actually have a more targeted approach to your sport or whatever you're doing, you can actually pinpoint what you need to develop or work on or add in to be more successful with less work involved.
right. Great. And then under, oops, sorry, that was not supposed to come up. I was trying to get something else up there. Yes. So where am I here? Oh, because I'm in the chat. I want to get back into captions. Yeah. So and then to get in touch with you, we also have to hop onto your website. So we've got that link as well.
Yeah, you can
And
hop on my website and you can call me, text me, email me. All my information is there.
so give us an idea about, from the mental point of
Mhm.
view, some of the things that you suggest to your clients so that they can, be at the top of their game. We'll use
Yeah.
that terminology.
Yeah, so the mental performance is the most undertrained and undeveloped
Mhm.
skill. I like to call it the mind muscle. It's not
Yeah,
really
I
a
like that.
muscle, but it kind of functions as one. As you train and develop it, it actually gets stronger and works better for you. So, when we talk about mental performance, it's the mental skills, the attitudes, the perspectives, your strategies, your processes that you use. And it's not just using your mind better to get better results, it's also the experience that you're having around something. So you can have two athletes or two people that are really high functioning, that are, winning or meeting goals and stuff. But if you look at the experience, is, one might be really suffering and one might be really having, a great time, right? I kind of like to describe, like, if you go to Disneyland or a theme park, two people can go to the theme park with the same goal of riding all of the rides, and one can have a great time and one can be completely miserable, but still ride all the rides, right? So, not that you're just improving your performance or working on your performance, but when you look at the experience of it, are you having joy, excitement? Is it fun? Or is it overshadowed with stress, pressure, overwhelm, and anxiety? And when I coach people, when I coach the kids and the athletes that I coach, we're also looking at this experience. And of course, all parents want their kids' experience of their sports not to be stressful, overwhelming, anxiety ridden, but they want it to be fun and joy and excitement. So we get to transform that for them, that we're transforming this tough experience into a really joyful one where they're actually learning and developing and really getting a lot out of the experience of
Yeah.
sports.
And what comes to mind is that it's a journey. So
Mhm.
enjoy the journey. It's not just the end result or where you're going to get to at the end of
Yeah,
the journey. It is
exactly.
enjoying the journey, and we can translate that for everybody, not just for the athletes that you work with. And also the mindset. That's what popped up for me was the mindset. There's a mindset around, as you said, the person can be two people can go to Disneyland and one
Mhm.
person has a great time and the other person doesn't. So that is also, I think, very important when it comes to mental health is what our mindset is. And what do we do? The work that I do, I help people put that in place.
Mhm.
What they can do to be healthy.
Mhm.
And of course, the work I do is releasing trapped emotions, but that all looks after all of our health, our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health. So it's very important to look at the whole person, which is what you do when you're coaching your clients. You're looking at the whole person. Do you have
Yeah.
any clients that are not athletes that you work with?
Most of them are athletes. Occasionally I get some referrals that, people just want coaching. I've had some people that wanted me to coach them in their business or just in their life. So I use kind of the same perspective of this sports program that I developed, but I do apply it to life. And it's cool because sports are so relatable that,
Exactly.
and,
Mhm.
that this athlete mindset is one that we can really take a lot from, and see like an athlete is like they're winning on the field, but what does it look like to win in your own life?
Yes.
And I'll tell
And
you a
there's a
little
lot of
bit about,
analogies as well that are done between athletes and athletics and business. So
yeah,
so
hmm,
yeah, there's a lot of
exactly.
correlation between the two for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was coaching someone the other day. She's older. She is an athlete, but she played sports when she was younger, and she was having this knee problem from where she was younger, all the way up to now, like decades later. And she's like, I'm always going to have this knee problem, and there's noise in the knee. And what we discovered is this noise in her knee actually wasn't painful, but it was bringing her back to the
Mm.
experience of she injured her knee, lost her scholarship, and then she was disappointed. So like her mentality around this experience that happened decades ago was still living in her life.
Yes.
It was actually decreasing her ability to train and not having her have joy and fulfillment and fun because this disappointment kept on playing
Mhm.
in the background of her life through hearing some of, these noises in her knee, even though they weren't painful. So we were kind of discovering that it wasn't just a physical problem, that it was this mental problem that kind of carried with her.
And an emotional problem. I mean, to me,
Hmm.
those are trapped
Yeah.
emotions. Those emotions
Yes.
got trapped in her
Hmm.
subconscious. And so even though consciously she could recognize what they were and with your help recognize where it came from, which is great,
Hmm.
because once you're consciously aware, then you can do something about it. But yes, that has happened to a number of my clients as well, where we were exploring where did this emotion come from,
Hmm.
and it's usually has come from somewhere where the as you said, this was quite an emotional event for this person
Hmm.
because they lost a scholarship due to this
Yeah.
injury.
Hmm.
So exactly. So we are getting down to the bottom of the hour,
Okay.
and or a half hour. I always call it
Hmm.
an hour. So thank you so much for being part of our Heal the World show today, Laurel. And we have a big ask. We are out to heal the world, and we really want you, anybody who's listening, we would love you to repost this event and also share it. Let people know about how the Healing Institute is, and the practitioners and the guests we have on Heal the World show are helping to heal the world. So my vision is to have a community of health practitioners, and we all customize. You could hear it today with what Laurel was telling us. We customize our treatments and our unique assessments to each individual client. It's not a one size fits all, as our clients are not one size fits all. So we want you to know that that is available. Our motto is service with love. We definitely are about healing, and we would just, our ask is for you to share and let people know that we are here and we are available for you on your health journey, for you to be well and stay well. So thanks again, Laurel. I'm sure we'll be talking in the future. Just for people who may be watching and I don't see your messages in the chat, we will be going back into the chat after the show, and we will be answering your questions, acknowledging that you were here, and we'll be putting Laurel's gift and also how to contact her we'll be replying to your messages and give you all that information. So we'll see you again next Friday on the Heal the World show.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.